Hi, I'm going to go over a little bit about academic phrases and transitions when you're talking about introducing your quote or your fact or statistic. So this document is on Schoology. It's also on my slides, and it just gives you ways to introduce it and then ways to comment on it. So you could start with in the article, and you could state what it is. Then the author states blank. So in the article from the CDC, the author and researcher John Smith states that, and then you'd fill in the blank with your quote. Or you could say, as the prominent scientist John Smith puts it, blank. And don't forget to put your citation at the end. A really simple way to do it is just to say, according to the CDC and author John Smith, he states this. Or you could just do, according to John Smith, the author of, and you could state the article, or researcher for the CDC or something like that, and give their credentials. So these are just ways that you can introduce your statistic, your fact, your quote by giving the credentials of the author or the website or the article or the particular domain. Now, when you're finished with stating that, you should give some type of analysis after to kind of wrap it up. You could say, basically, so-and-so is saying, or in other words, so-and-so is saying, or in making this statistic, such and such. Now these are sort of helpful, but not always helpful. You can use your own judgment on that. Sometimes these phrases don't fit, but these over here are super, super helpful in getting started on how do I introduce my fact or statistic without just plopping in a quote. The second thing I want to talk about is how do you transition into a counter argument. So a way that you can, if you're doing even if you're doing it at the end of your paragraph, you should transition into saying what the other side believes. So once you've explained your side, then you could say something like, some scholars and researchers claim, and then state what they believe. And then you give their evidence. And then you can acknowledge that there's some validity to it, but then explain what's wrong with it. So here it says, although there is validity to the presented argument, this theory excludes educationally derived programming. So first it states what the claim is. So some scholars and researchers claim that, or you could say, the other side believes that, and then you could explain what they believe in their research. And then you can say, although there is some validity to this argument, this claim actually, and then you can give your rebuttal. So this some researchers or scholars claim is one way to transition to a counter-argument, and then a way to transition to your rebuttal is to say, although there is validity to this, or although there is some truth to this, or although this makes sense, the benefits to whatever your argument is far outweigh this, the other side's claims, and then you can explain why and give your rebuttal. So again, this is a really helpful slide that shows you how to transition into the counter argument and acknowledge it, and then to transition into your rebuttal. Hope this helps. These two slides are on Schoology, and please make sure that you try to integrate them into your essays today as you're wrapping them up. Have a great day.